Good morning. So when I was in seminary, I worked part-time at a preschool, and every afternoon I would meet the children out on the playground. And so I would be out there and they would come barreling out of their classroom door, running as fast as they can, always running, yelling, "Miss Amanda, Miss Amanda." Well, I remember this one particular afternoon, they came running out, and this little girl, who was probably the smallest of the bunch, was running towards me, but then abruptly stopped several feet away from me and then said, "Hey everybody, I was made to run." And then she proceeded to wind her little body up, hike her leg up, kind of like you see them do in cartoons, and take off running as fast as she could across the playground. And I thought to myself, well, she isn't wrong. You see, God, who created us, created each of us with purpose. And one of our purposes is to worship. And sometimes when we think of worship, we have a very narrow idea of it or understanding. We think about worship as the 1 hour, 1 day a week, where we go into a building, we sit in our pew, we listen to the teaching and the scripture, and we sing songs, and we leave there and we think of that as our worship. But worship really is about reverence and about giving worth to something. Worship is so much larger than that. It's what we give our lives to. And God's greatest hope is that we give our life to God's kindness and goodness so that we can know God's unfailing and unconditional love. But the beautiful thing about it, and maybe the hard thing, is that it is a choice. We can choose not to do that as well. But because we were created to worship, we will fill that void with something in our lives. But whatever that thing is, we will never know God's goodness and God's kindness and love that only our God can give. So worship to me is the freedom to choose, to love, and to be loved by God.